everyone. It's 5:30. I think we should start our meeting. Can I get a motion to call the meeting to order? To open the meeting?
I make a motion to open the meeting.
And second?
Second.
All right, and all approve? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're going to do the invocation. Scott, would you please?
Sure. Shall we pray?
Yes.
Dear Lord, we do thank you for who you are. We thank you for the privilege of living in a free land, and we just thank you for liberty recognized as a gift from you. We thank you for the many men and women who've enabled us to enjoy these freedoms. We just pray, Lord, to help us to be people worthy of freedom and liberty. So we thank you for that. We thank you for the opportunity tonight to meet and govern ourselves. We just pray for wisdom. We recognize that comes from you. So help us, we ask, and pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And Ralph, if you'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, you may not have a flag there, but we do. So we'll stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, let's move on. All right, so tonight we have something. Is somebody talking? We have a little bit of something different tonight because it's the 274th. Hello?
There are 2 rounds here. There are 2 rounds.
Yes, there is. There's 2 Ralphs, Ralph Mitchell and Ralph Strunk, 2 different people. If you are on the Zoom and you're not speaking, please mute yourself because we can hear background noise.
Thank you, Mr. Struck. All right, so like I say, tonight we're going to do something a little, start the meeting with a celebration for the anniversary of the Marines. It's 274th anniversary, so we have a little something to play here for.
Ready?
Yeah. I'd like to thank and recognize some of our friends who have served the Marines and have family in the Marines. And my friend Karen, her son is in the Marines, and our Graham County, our newspaper guy, he's been in the Marines. So thank you for your service. That's Randy. I know.
Do we do a little stand?
Yes.
Stand with them.
On the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to bring the title of United States Marines. Our flags unfurled to every breeze from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. In the snow of far-off northern lands and in sunny tropic seas, you will find us always on the job, the United States Marines. It is held to you and to our corps which we are proud to serve. In many a strife we fought for life and never lost our nerve. Yet the Army and the Navy never looked on heaven's seas. They will find us these are guarded by United States Marines.
Thank you. Thank you for finding that for us.
Well, I'd also like to recognize for Veterans Day our other service members and our as homeowners.
Okay, so then, can I get an approval for the agenda, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second, all in favor? Aye. And may I get an approval of the October 13th, 2022 council meeting minutes, please?
Could I make a motion to amend the meeting minutes on October 14th under the approval of the September 8th minutes and the approval of the September 19th minutes? The last sentence says the motion unanimously, I think it's supposed to say passed. Okay. Yeah, just add passed to both of those. Things. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only, and then after that, if everyone is in agreement with that, I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Can I get a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay, now can we please have the presentation of the financial and the tax report?
The tax report for this month is $14,174.25. I think we can expect in December, January, we get a larger amount of tax revenue. Everybody's had time to look over the financials. I know we paid, the paving came out. I was looking in this last month's budget, all the paving that we did. So that was the big amount that went out in general this month. So water, I don't think water had anything large go out in it. And we did bill water. And Scott's did leak detection. We had several leaks this week. That's all I have.
Okay. Gina, do you have anything to add as finance officer?
No, the only thing is, Kip and I have already started some preliminary thoughts for the next budget year.
Okay.
It's kind of early, but just kind of what we did last year, getting our thoughts are early this year, actually. The thoughts are together of long-term planning, what needs to be fixed, what we can afford, things like that. Just thinking about some water issues that we might need to take besides what we already know about. So that's the only thing where, if you have anything, we're already kind of starting to chalkboard for that. Okay.
Did we get a clarification on water leaks? Those are personal water leaks,
Yes.
right? Not town.
Yes, personal water leaks, yeah.
Thank
We
you.
had to send off the belt clip, and it's been gone, what, a couple months maybe? It wasn't working, and we just got it back, so we were able to do a leak detection. We were not able to do one with when we built water to go out to be able to see how big the leaks were. And we did have, he found one that was pretty big.
No bigger than yours.
Bigger than mine? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, yours was good.
And he says it's working really well, so hopefully whatever they did to it fixed it, and it's gonna Is that work the for one on our our street?
What's that?
The one that, on James' old property, that one? Was
No.
it there? I know, a different one.
I want to make sure that everybody can hear us on Zoom. Can everyone hear us? Because we're all talking a little low.
They're all muted.
Okay, well, be nice to know. Okay,
Beauty said just a little.
okay, well, we can talk up a little bit then. Now I'd like to introduce Shannon Dennison, which is our auditor. Shannon, can you hear us?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here today to present your financial audit for the 21-22 fiscal year. So I am going to bring up the audit, and I'm going to go through a few select stages, and I believe the audits have been sent out and available, so if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions or get back to you if I don't have the answers immediately.
Shannon,
Can you make?
can you specify page numbers when you're going through it?
Yes, I can.
Is that better?
Is that good? Can everybody hear
That's
that?
better. That's better,
Okay.
yes.
There we go.
Okay, are you all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
What's that?
The first page that I'm going to look at, or the first set of pages, is going to start on page 1. And this is the report that as auditors we provide, basically stating that we had an unmodified opinion on the audit, and as an unmodified opinion, that means we believe that financial statements are fairly presented and that we were able to obtain the audit documentation necessary to come to that opinion. The next section is the management discussion and analysis. That starts on page 4. And this is going to be a written synopsis of the financials. This is something that is partially prepared by management, partially prepared by us. The bulk of it we prepare, and then have management update a few sections of it. And then this kind of is just a high level of all of the financials. The next page I'm going to turn to is page 15. The pages on the PDF and the pages on the document are a little bit different because we have our title pages. But page 15 on the PDF is going to show on your general fund, you guys had $453,000 in revenue and $343,000 in expenses. That left you with a $333,000 fund balance. As you'll notice on this page, we did have a restatement from the prior year financial statements. This just had to do with geography of how some of the stuff was reported on the financial statements last year, and it was mostly between the water fund and the general fund. Some of it was just mixed up between the two funds. So we did get that corrected on this year's statement. But it was not necessarily an issue that we found related to what was spent last year. It was just how the numbers were reported on the statements between the two funds. Looking back at page 14, you'll be able to see the cash and your assets. The big thing I want to point out on this page is your fund balance. Fund balance is going to be basically what you have available to spend. Your unassigned fund balance is what you would be able to budget in the next fiscal year. You can't budget more than your unassigned fund balance in the next fiscal year above whatever revenues you intend on bringing in the next fiscal year. So that's kind of another way to look at it is your savings account is not on a cash basis. But that's what the state would allow you to budget out of your savings account in the next fiscal year. And that is almost $321,000 in your general fund. And if anybody has questions along the way, feel free to jump in and I can stop. On page 17, this is a budget comparison on your general fund compared to the budget that was passed. I have a couple of recommendations on the budget that I'll be working with the town offices on as to just the preparation and presentation on the budget. But in almost every category, the town was within budget. The only category that wasn't within budget, which is a difficult one, is the capital outlay project. And the town was looking at it in comparison to the revenues that had been brought in. Unfortunately, on the statement, we do have to show, even though that revenue was brought in over a period of time, we have to show the overage in this specific year. So there was an overage in capital outlay because all of those funds were spent in this last fiscal year. Moving along to the water fund. You guys charged $131,000 for water. You had a couple of interest in some non-operating revenues as well, and then your operating expenses were $89,000. That brought you to about $250,000 ending net position, which would be similar to ending fund balance. And looking ahead to the page before, just like in the general fund, the unrestricted in that position is really what you're looking at here, as this is what, if you needed to spend this money that you could spend in the following fiscal year, that would be $102,000 that you would have available to be able to appropriate in your next year's budget. The last statement that I'm going to go, the next area that I'm going to go through are the notes to the financial statements. So those are going to go through various accounting policies. They're going to give a little bit more detail. It'll go into a little bit more on fixed assets. It will go into a little bit more on cash balances in various areas within the statement that I'm not going to read it all, but you're all welcome to go through and read different receivables. It's going to give more details into the numbers. We discussed the excess expenditures over appropriations that we did report on. The other one that we have reported on is ensuring that the TDA does not spend more than a third in this of the taxes on other things other than promotion and travel and tourism. This is a note that we're potentially going to be updating, and we'll come back if there's an update to that. This is something that we are working on with the LGC and investigating and doing more research on categorization of a couple of expenses to make 100% sure that this note is correct. I believe there is some wording update that we may have to this note. So just know that this one note right here is something that we are doing a little bit more research and may come back to with additional information later.
Shannon, can I just make a point there? The $78,955 for anyone who's interested, that was the capital outlay for the front entrance. So if anyone is interested to know what that was, it was the way that the money came in during the different years and we didn't know to recoup it, I guess is probably the best way to say it. So that's why we have that finding.
And the last one that I wanted to go through is the TDA is part of the town's financial statements. The TDA brought in $22,000 in revenue, had $30,800 in expenditures, leaving them with a fund balance of about $26,000 as of June 30th. Are there any questions related to the financial statements? Those are the only pages that I've had printed out to be able to specifically talk through. Well, I really appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to work with you. I think we'll be able to, as we've been for our first year and learning about the town, we continue to learn more and kind of work with the town staff a little bit closer, both throughout the year and during the audit. So excited to work with you and you and your team.
Thank you, Shannon. Hopefully you can come out and maybe in the spring if you want to come out and see our town.
That's my goal. I would love to come out there.
Come out and see. You can see us.
Yes.
You can see the front entrance.
I would love to see the front entrance.
Ara and I have been planting bulbs.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Shannon. I don't have any questions.
Does anybody have any questions for our auditor?
I have one question. Shannon, this is Jim Hager. Did you see anything in the audit that would bring the state treasurer's office to visit us?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry, I think I shut out.
I think she's been hearing you.
Was there anything that you saw in the audit that might prompt the state treasurer's office to pay us a visit?
No.
Okay.
I got a question. With the regards to the TDA overspending.
Is this public comments, Tom, or what?
I'm allowing questions to be asked of our auditor. She asked if anybody had
Again,
any
with
questions.
reference to the TDA overspending by 10% of what they were allowed to spend. I believe you stated that there's ongoing investigation into that. Is that correct?
She may not have been able to hear him.
Can somebody, sorry, I can kind of hear it in the background.
I may not have turned this up all the way or something.
She's already addressed it.
Yeah.
With regards to the TDA overspending by 10%, which was unauthorized, am I correct in assuming that you stated that there's an ongoing investigative session on that?
I have reached out to the LDC with a question on that. There's a question as to a couple of expenditures, such as the fees for the audit and the insurance expense as to what bucket those fall into. And depending on what bucket those fall into, there's some ambiguity in the law, and so I have reached out for some additional guidance on that. And depending on what bucket that falls into, will really depend if there has been overspending or not.
Okay, because I attend about 99% of the TDA meetings, and I believe I recalled that the only way to legitimize spending money on the front entrance was to put a sign up identifying that TDA funds had been spent to do that job, and to date, we have no sign identifying that.
That's because I didn't spend any money with the debit card for signing.
That brings up a good point. Shannon, I have asked our town administrator, Kim, to get a hold of
I talked to
Diana
Shannon about that yesterday.
So I hope you brought the card with you.
I would like a formal request. No, I'd like it on town letterhead.
I think that's all we have for Shannon though, right? We should let Shannon
Okay.
know if we- Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions for Shannon?
So, if I understand correct, the TDA chair is being asked to surrender the debit card, and she's refusing unless it's put on town letterhead? Am
No,
I
I'm
correct?
sorry, but Shannon told me that the mayor had no rights to request it.
I believe you work
Kim,
for the council, don't you?
You need to turn in the card, Diana. So please turn the card in. If somebody was there at the bank today, it would have been canceled. It's being canceled. Do not spend any more funds.
there are funds that have to be covered.
Do not spend any more funds on the debit card. Thank you.
Okay. What about Christmas?
Don't spend any more funds on the debit card.
Shannon told me when I requested what I spent for Christmas decorations was okay. I asked her
I'm
yesterday.
not talking, don't spend any more money on the debit card. Is that clear? I can't be any more clear. Don't do it.
There
Thank
are
you.
expenses in November that
How
have to
somebody's
be
supposed to
paid.
operate a business with no money?
It's not a business.
It is a business, it's a TDA,
All
it's a
right.
business.
Turn the card in, please. Next. What are we doing next? Move on.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.
You are welcome, no problem.
All right, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Is there any public comment from the
Does
Zoom?
anybody else want to sign up for public comment?
Put your hand up if you have a public comment to make.
That's not.
This was somebody on the list. Just Jack. I don't see anybody with their hand raised. I think just Jack.
Okay. And just so everybody can hear, with regard to the TDA, the overwhelming majority of those in attendance did not support moving forward with the establishment of the TDA for the town of Lake Santeetlah. The council passed the resolution with a 3-2 vote.
Now here we are, and everyone's expectations have come to fruit. Diana Simon was placed as chair of the TDA board temporarily at the beginning. She does not collect the tax, yet past council reaffirmed her to the position of the chair. As many community members stated how hard it would be to properly and legally spend TDA funds, it has now become apparent that the fears of those community members were true. I personally attend 99% of the TDA meetings. I was not able to attend the last meeting due to lack of notification and no Zoom attendance was offered. I have been advised that the meeting was pretty much all about myself, Jack. The statements made by the chair, Diana Simon, were assumptions, plain and simple. The TDA expenditures with regard to the front entrance was described as being legal only if a sign installed identifying that the planner and the landscaping was funded by the TDA. There is no such sign to date. With the proof of the actual government audit, my opinion would be that Diana Simon, who serves at the pleasure of the Town of Lake Santeetlah Council, be removed from the position of chair of the TDA, hopefully next month. Thank you.
Comment?
Any more public
Section
comments?
3 of attendance and removal, please refer to that.
What are you talking about? Is there public comment? Next. Any more public comment for anyone? All right, let's move on.
Alan has.
Oh, Alan Davis? I'm sorry. I'm David. Alan? Mr. Davidson. Can you hear us? You've got to unmute yourself. You gotta have to unmute yourself, Mr. Davidson.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. I didn't raise my hand.
You did not raise your hand?
I did not.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
All
All right, thank you.
Hit something, but I didn't.
Okay.
I don't have a comment at this time.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're gonna have the old business number 1, report on lease of Robbinsville Tool for the water line identification. I was successful in completing that agreement. It's been signed, and
Would you like to join me to go home? This is just a kangaroo court.
goodbye. And the agreement has been signed, and it's already in the works. I believe that Scott is going to work with their employee, Chad, and put together a schedule. And as soon as he has something that he has on his mind, he'll present it to us. So thank you for that.
Do you know when you're starting?
Do you have any idea when you want to start? She's asking a question.
Do you have you talked to Chad? Like, do you know when you're gonna start, or?
No, I just have to get with him and see, barring any water breaks, and obviously they can't plan for that, but with holidays and stuff coming up, which weeks will be able to work the best for that.
Yeah, probably after Thanksgiving then.
I'm hoping so, but we'll see. So.
Okay.
Can we register a quorum check, please?
We have a quorum. And when somebody walks out in the middle of a meeting, their vote is automatically known as a positive, as an affirmative, according to the rules. So, all right. The next thing on the old business number 2 is the update of the repairs on the exit gate. That's been giving us a bit of trouble, and Scott has been on it. We have the gate guy out here. There is a sign now up there that says that if you are stuck behind the gate, there's a little button you press. Please press that little button to open the gate. It will open, let you out, and then hopefully close back up. Please don't try to take anything apart. Let's just press that button. And all the sensors have been updated and repaired, but we still are having a few issues with the gate not closing. So Scott's in working with the company. He's going to call them and be one-on-one. It may take a few days with the holiday, with Veterans Day tomorrow, but he'll get it figured out for us. So right now the gate is opened so that it's safe.
Tell them where the button is.
The button is on the side. There's a little box and there's a little red button. Just when you get out of your car, go to the side of the pole and see the little red button.
The button is under the panel.
It's on the side.
To the side, to the left.
it's moved.
There's a
On
sign.
the side.
If you're
It's
stuck.
not there this evening.
The sign.
I just drove by and it wasn't
What's not
the
up there?
little paper sign.
That's because he replaced it with
Oh.
No, the yellow sign has all the information.
all the information you need. So,
So, But where that arrow is, if you just go right to the side, so that's a nice emergency feature. So.
We're leaving it open though, right, until he comes back out and checks it. That's the plan, right?
Mhm. Yes, yes, until we can figure out exactly what's happening.
Okay.
So. Okay, ethics training. By state law, everyone was supposed to take their ethics training within 1 year of being elected. And that has not happened. I only have proof of the course, the ethics training for this year by 3 people. So we are lacking 2 of those certificates for this year.
Is that right?
No. That's
I
not
have given my certificate to Kim. I'm certified from the Western Commission.
all right.
I'm on the committee for the tourism, or for
Yeah, I still need to do it.
transportation.
I think Jim still needs to do it though. And the year is up, Jim, so you've got to do something.
I'll register you for it.
Okay, just let me know when.
All right.
You can take it at any time because there was the one that's
On demand.
On demand, yeah, it's on demand. So that's what Ralph and I did. We did it after the live one. It's pre-recorded and you just have to send it.
I've touched several times. Can you send me the link to that?
All right, now that we've got that cleared up, let's go on to new business. Report on training for Edmunds Financial Software with Kim. Kim and Emily took a training course, spent a couple days away from the office, which was wonderful, and they came back with a lot of information. So if you want to give us an update, Kim, that would be great.
Oh, it's gonna be really good, and it does a ton of stuff. Oh, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Yeah, baby said you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're clear on the Zoom.
okay. So, the Edmunds software is gonna do a lot, and I think we'll be able to add some stuff as we go along. We could have, like with the front entrance, we could set up a special, something special inside Edmunds that would track all the income that came in that fundraiser that we did through the TPOA.
Like a project management.
Yes, like a project, what'd you call it?
Project management type of
Yeah,
accounting
yeah.
system.
And we can even set it up so you could go online and pay with a credit card for a specific project if you wanted to. The water payments is going to work a lot better. Now the water software does not talk to, where it doesn't communicate with QuickBooks, so we manually have to put it in the water system and manually in QuickBooks. And now those are going to work together. You're going to be able to go online and make a payment to your for your water bill. We can even set it up so if you wanted your water cut off on the 10th of January, it could notify Scott that you wanted it off. When you come back in June or whenever, it would know that we can set it up to notify him to have your water turned back on at a certain day. The payroll, we're going to be doing payroll in-house, which is going to save probably somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000 in payroll fees that we pay out. So I think it's going to be a lot better once we get it, but it still looks like it's going to be at the end of the fiscal year before we are actually able to go live. So, but hopefully they will come on site and do some training before that happens. So, but it was really good. I think everybody will really like it.
And you mentioned Clyde.
Yes, we went to Clyde in Waynesville has this same program, and they love it. She said somebody would have to pay her to switch. So, and we're going to go back there and watch them build water maybe next month, maybe sometime in December or January. So, but it's really good. The training was really good, and we were able to, Emily and I switched out. She went to one session, I went to another. She went to like reporting in water, and I went to a payroll session, so it was good. It was really good.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for going, and thank Emily. I've already thanked them, but I want to put it on the record. Appreciate you going. Okay, then number 2, under new business, the TDA and planning board member, Tanya Kaplan, has sold her house, and she has resigned from both boards. Moving on to number 3, policy for parking on town property. We're having complaints about people who are parking commercial equipment for long periods of time on town property. And I've spoken to our town attorney about the best way to approach this. He advised me what I need to do first is to put up signs. So we're going to have to go through the expense of putting no parking signs on certain areas of the town. We need to come up with a policy that we can enforce about somebody parking large commercial property on town property for long periods of time. I realize we have workers coming in, they're bringing backhoes and things, they've got trailers, they gotta put them the trailer someplace to get up and work for a few days. But somebody is taking advantage of our town by parking commercial property, a commercial machine on commercial property. On town property. So we're gonna have to come up with a policy now because of that. And we're gonna have to buy signs because of that. I was hoping we wouldn't have to go this far, but apparently we're going to have to.
Have you asked?
I have.
Comment?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the person that started was getting complaint. They moved this machine, and I thanked them for moving it and reminded them not to put it back there, but they did. So now it's there. We're going to have to pursue this because you can't. It hampers the possibility when we get bad weather, the plow hitting it or something getting in the way. We can't endanger our staff by allowing this machine to stay there.
I have asked them to move the machine.
They've been asked, but they didn't do it.
No, I just heard that Emily had said something. They had it parked on their property.
It's not on their property.
Not now. Please listen to me. I talked to them yesterday.
Who's them?
The people you're talking about.
Keats?
Yes.
Say the name. Okay, thank
Well,
you.
you're the one who didn't say the name.
Because I didn't want to put them out there, but you are. Go ahead. So what did they say to you?
They've got it here. They're going to be removing their roof, and they need that equipment to remove the roof.
Can they put
They
it on their
didn't
own
want to
personal-
have to do that.
Can they put it on their own property?
Yeah, they'll move it back down there, but they were doing work on the little house.
Okay.
So they had to move it out of the way. They're doing a tear off of the roof on the little house this week. That's for
Can I say something, Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
We gotta be careful picking and choosing who we're gonna pick on.
Not picking on anybody in particular.
Well, you own this property right above Town Hall,
I do.
and your deed says that you can park one passenger vehicle on town property. That is not a passenger vehicle parked on town property here at Town Hall.
Okay.
So,
There'll be a car there later, if that's what you
It's
want.
a
Legally registered trailer.
It's illegally, I know, so
It's
you
not
want
a
to, all right,
passenger
split
vehicle.
hairs, but that's.
Show me where it says passenger.
Jack, I'm not talking to you.
All right, show me where it says passenger then, but I'm not going to go into detail. You've put
Okay,
that
so
up.
I'm just
Okay,
saying, you
go
need to
ahead.
be careful.
We're not picking and choosing on anybody, believe me.
what about
Excuse me,
contractors'
I think
trailers on private property?
I think we need to look, on the agenda is policy for parking on town property. And that's what we need to talk about, is to come up with ideas of what we think. Should there be no policy? Should there be a policy? Should it be no commercial vehicles? Should it be no vehicles at all? Should it be anything is allowed?
Just
As
ask
long
them
as it's-
nicely.
As long as it's, no, we need a policy. If we need a policy, I'm throwing out ideas, having a discussion. Should it be a limited time period? Should it only be, if it's commercial, it can only be from 5 o'clock on Friday until 9 o'clock on Monday? Should it be 3 days? Should it be not at all? I'm just throwing out ideas. If we're gonna make a policy, we need to just have some ideas to throw out. We're not talking about personal property. And it has to also be, if it applies to one person, like you said, it has to be able to apply to everyone. So if we make it a policy, parking on town property, it will affect dumpsters, and it will affect boat trailers that are left there on the side of the road. It will affect everything. So this is something,
It's
we're
a
gonna make a
difficult-
policy.
I think if we, I mean, there's not a whole lot of parking within the town of Lake Santeetlah. If somebody's pulling a piece of equipment in, or, we've got lots of construction going on right now, so they have to have somewhere to park, like you said. If
Right.
you want to limit that to 5 days, and they come in and say, I've got 3 more days left, can I leave this here for 3 more days, or, whatever, or I'm gonna move it down here, and then I'm gonna bring, I mean, I think, we have to have somewhere for people to park, and I don't feel
And I
like
think we just need a policy
Yeah.
about that then, if we're gonna allow it, because if one person parks there and they never move, that's not good either. Whether it's one little thing or one big thing, which is what we have now is one big thing, but it would also apply if someone put their 16-foot trailer there because they need to unload some kind of big equipment or something, so.
One thing that might help with some of the parking is if we stripe the front entrance area so that one pickup truck doesn't take up all the spaces up there.
It's to the
That
park.
front entrance is basically overflow parking. That's what it's always been designated at. So if one of the Keiths want to put the big blue there, that's overflow parking. But boy, is that going to look
Well,
like a
there should
store.
be parking
Are you
for
talking
4
about
cars if it were
Yeah,
striped.
if you stripe, there's room at least for 3 or 4 vehicles to
We've
be
got
parked
one.
there if they were parked correctly.
But I don't, who's going to enforce that?
But then would we want to have a no commercial? Because usually parking spaces are certain,
Well, I know there's been
9
a
by
pickup
12
truck
or whatever. A pickup truck
Parked
would fit,
parallel
but-
there several times in recent days.
And I don't think there's anything we can do to stop them.
Well, but
It's overflow parking. They're allowed to park there. That's
well, if
what
you
it's
stripe,
designed for.
maybe the truck.
Yes, you can. You can change it.
What do you want us to change
Change
it to,
it.
Mr. Strunk? Talk to us. Come on,
You can
Ralph.
change it.
Change it to what, sir?
30-minute parking at the front entrance. We have a beautiful front entrance, and you guys allow these people to park there for a long period. Change the damn thing.
Okay, thank you for your suggestion. I don't know how it would be enforced.
Can I say something else?
Of course you may.
All right, regarding the water bills, no one has ever told me that there's a 3% surcharge when you use a credit card, which amounts to like $5 a quarter, when I can easily spend 60 cents a quarter with a stamp. I was not told when I signed up that there was a surcharge. The people need to tell you that there's a 3% surcharge, which is $5 a quarter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
If we didn't tell you that, Ralph, I apologize. We typically tell everyone that before they use a credit card.
Is it on the bill even?
Well, I signed up to have it done every quarter. I had to go in there and have it undone.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who wants to comment on anything while we're being casual?
I'd like to say something. That is our equipment that is there. This is Kelsey. I didn't realize that it was going to have to be there as long as it has. We've had a delay with our contractor son, and he's getting ready to pull the roof off of our house. And he was also working on the smaller house that's next door. We can certainly, once he gets that, which is supposed to be this week as long as it's not going to continue to rain, the house below done, he can move it down there so we can work on the house above.
Okay.
And then we'll take that thing back to Asheville. But, we don't want anybody to be upset by it. I don't want anybody to be, to have to look at that every time either. It's just quite an expense to drag it back and forth from Asheville. We've allowed other people to use it. Somebody else used it to cut some trees and stuff as well. And like I said, as soon as he gets completed with that, which hopefully will be, this next month, depending on the rain, we will be planning on getting that moved out there.
Thank you very much, Kelly. I really appreciate
And
it.
nobody, and let me preface this by saying as well, nobody, I believe that they did, somebody called from the office and talked to Craig, but it was not Connie or anybody from the board.
No, it
So
wasn't.
we had not received any, and I did not realize that anybody was that upset about it. Obviously, I don't want anybody to be upset. I understand what it's like to look at things because, you know, I have the mess across the street from me as well that we've had to look at. So I get it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate that. And we'll share, I'm going to tell people if they do call the office and ask about it, we'll let them know it's temporary and that you promised to relocate it. Correct? When you're finished?
Yeah, that is correct.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much for speaking up. All right. Next, let's move on.
So are y'all gonna,
Okay.
do you wanna?
Was there any other opportunity?
I'm
Was
sorry?
there any other opportunity for comment?
Yes, please speak.
Hey guys, it's Chris. I had my hand raised. I don't know the protocol for when to speak, but I have an idea. Please hear me out before you respond. If we're looking for a place where these commercial vehicles, backhoes, bulldozers, whatever that we're talking about can be parked without having to haul them back to Asheville or Knoxville or wherever they came from, is there any possibility that we could leverage Randall's upper lot at the marina, which is rarely full?
That would be up to Randall.
I'm using to listen to your responses.
Randall's upper lot is always full.
Yeah, I don't know if Randall would agree to that. You'd have to pay for storage. He rents that storage out, I believe.
Oh, clearly. I'm not suggesting that he do it out of the goodness of his heart.
Okay, thank you.
But that would be a good thought though, Chris, for anyone that wanted to, if we have if we end up making a policy and someone has something that they need to keep longer term, that they could always reach out to Randall, right? And see if, the worst you can say is no.
Right.
So.
That's a good suggestion. We'll
Yeah,
see
it's a
if
good
Randall will.
suggestion. Somebody wanted to.
We can try an alternative idea.
I have a comment.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Since we're putting out ideas how to handle parking issues on town property and elsewhere, rather than overcomplicate the parking on town property, I think the council should consider making a rule that all parking on town property needs to be permitted by the town. It can be handled in the town hall. Kim could handle it. That way there's no confusion and you know what piece of equipment is parked where and why and who it's there for. You can overdo, you try to write a really long, regulation, or you can just have people come in and then you can say, well, when the job's finished, then let us know and we'll be aware when it's going to be there, when it's not. I'm just suggesting that you keep it simple. No parking signs on town property longer than, an hour or 30 minutes, as was suggested, and all other parking on town property needs to be permitted through the town staff.
That makes a lot of
would be my-
sense. That makes a lot of sense, Alan.
Thank you for the suggestion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you still not need to have you're still gonna have some guidance as to how long you're gonna let it sit there. Yeah, you still have to have a policy, but then that would.
And I know we've had, Jim probably remembers, we had to ask somebody to move a truck that is full of like debris.
Mm-hmm.
And it sat there and sat there and sat there.
Okay, can I get a volunteer to start putting together a policy, possibly?
Or just some thoughts.
Let's put some thoughts down on paper and present it at the next meeting, and we'll see if we can put something.
Time limit and that kind of thing, yeah.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
we definitely have to allow it. We have so much construction.
I agree, we have to allow, we
Yeah.
just have to like limit,
Yeah.
and that's all. So people can understand, but all fairness. Okay. That's it for my new business. Any discussion on anything? We've basically had, there's one thing on discussion. Graham County is having their Christmas parade on December 10th. And I do think it'd be fun if our town contributed to the parade. I'd like to put together a float of sorts. It should be a lot of fun. If I have any volunteers, please contact me and we'll put something together. I don't think a motion needs to be made to do that. Okay.
Did you say the date?
It's December 10th, and it's a Saturday, and it's an evening parade, early evening parade. They start out. Okay, so final public comment. Does anyone have anything to say? Yes, sir.
Yeah. During the trunk or treat that Robbinsville held, it was an outstanding event. A few of us in the community did have a booth down there. We ended up winning first prize for the booth. We had a great time. There was probably 1,000 kids, if I had to guess. And I was just handing out handfuls of candy. Matter of fact, we had to go down and buy more.
Yeah.
But it was a very good, it wasn't put on by the town, but it was a very good showing for the town. So I just want to let everybody know out there, there was a booth of pirates. We had a great time.
We did. We had a lot of fun. I thank everyone who contributed to helping out with that.
Point of order,
Yes, sir.
it was put out by Robbinsville Tourism Authority. And it was a RTA event.
Yes.
They did a good job in organizing it. I
And
believe that
did you say you won the first prize?
we won first
Our
prize.
booth won first prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RTA.
I believe Susan has her hand up. Susan?
Hi, can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, thank you. First off, I want to thank everyone for some progress that has been made. The town, and it's nice to hear that this new software, you and Emily are excited about it. I think good things are occurring. I just want to say this. It is the expectation of the taxpayers of this town and residents that at all times during these meetings, there will remain a tone of respect towards people, and that includes towards fellow council people or towards the residents. And it's really important if all the facts are not in. We heard the auditor say clearly that the facts are not in regarding TDA and the categorical buckets of spending. Now, the word investigate sometimes sounds like it's some kind of wrongdoing. But no, that's how auditors talk. And so we have to reserve our judgment until we have the facts. And I think that's important, that's one thing. And secondly, if there are issues that are not on the agenda related to how things are handled, we don't want to hear a fight about it during the town council meeting. Please, everyone treat each other with respect, and also with regard to this piece of equipment by the side of the road. In the end, it appeared there was a misunderstanding. But the tone about what was going on with that was not very respectful. So I think good things are happening, things are moving in good directions. And I just want to say, let's continue to work together and care for each other and treat each other with respect and also give each other the benefit of the doubt. A lot of people are doing hard work and you don't get paid a bunch of money for it, and we appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan. Are you finished? Okay, thank you. Some announcement. We have any more public here? Announcement?
Yes, the other Ralph. I want to thank everyone that was involved in the front entrance redo. You did a wonderful job. It was beautiful. Thank you all.
Thank you for that, sir. Okay, so any more public comment? I guess not. All right, so for announcements, first I would like to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day for tomorrow, and I appreciate all our servicemen and all what they've done for our country. Thank you. The next, under announcements, the next scheduled council meeting will be December 8th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. Town staff and council will have a special Christmas dinner at 4 p.m. prior to that meeting, and we'd love for you all to join us in celebration. And Town Hall will be closed tomorrow, November 11th, in honor of Veterans Day. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting, please,
So
if we're
moved.
finished? Thank you.
I second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.